and Rupe, Rupe and Bill, Bill and Rupe's podcast. Yeah.
Right, Rupe.
Yeah.
You brought me out.
I know you
My
were
warm
coffee.
studio.
I know it was warm.
Had a lovely cup of
It's a
coffee.
sunny day.
And you said, Bill, I want you to come out with me
I know. I did.
in the mud.
I did.
You say,
Yes.
can you explain why?
Well, it's a sunny day.
Yeah.
It was a sunny day back about 382 years ago. This day, 382 years ago, was the first battle of the English Civil War over there.
Wow.
They were there.
This looks amazing.
Isn't that exciting?
It is exciting.
I could have done it on a
Yeah.
YouTube thing.
You could have let me finish my coffee.
I know, but it was there, and it was like, oh my God, we're just round the corner, so I thought I'd bring you out.
It's amazing, Rupe.
And-
So 300 odd years ago,
Yeah.
English Civil War, who
Yeah.
was fighting?
Well, there was Charles I,
Yeah.
who was sort of
King
coming on his
Charles?
way, King Charles, on his way from Nottingham, but he went towards Shrewsbury, came back down, and he's being followed by the Earl of Essex and his men from Parliament, and they crossed each other and they didn't know.
Right.
So there's a village up there somewhere, 6 miles away, and the quartermasters who were looking for like resources and all that, they saw each other and went, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah.
So they went back to their...
All right, mate, how you doing?
Yeah, exactly. and then they went back, and Charles was over there somewhere in Banbury,
Yeah.
not far, and they said, "You never guess what, mate? Sir, my liege, you never guess what? King's Essex's boys are just down in Kyneton
Yeah.
with their big baggage train.
Loads of money.
Well, it's got all their stuff. It's a slow train. It's about
Yeah.
200
Nice
wagons,
dresses.
1,000 horses.
Yeah.
They're parked up in Kyneton.
So they went,
So
right, we're going to have
so
them.
this field is in the middle.
Wow. And this is where
Let's
they
go and have
met
a look,
up,
shall we?
and then had coffee and cake.
They did have a coffee and cake. But do you know what, though? There hadn't been a battle for 150 years before this.
Wow.
So no one was used to it.
They're not used to fighting.
They didn't know what to do. So, can you imagine, right? They had like, people think all the royals had long hair and everything, all the noblemen did.
Yeah.
All the guys that were working in the stables and stuff all had short hair, so they couldn't tell each other apart.
And so what did they do?
So, you know, like in PE, when you got bibs on, you
Yeah.
didn't have the kits. And I went to a school where we couldn't afford the kits.
Yeah.
You got your little orange bib and your red bib and blue bib.
Or
They
pink.
wore sashes.
Oh, right, okay.
So King Charles had red sashes,
yeah.
and
King Charles, which is the Parliament,
the royals,
royals,
because he was a
yeah,
royal,
royal
wasn't he?
Essex, yeah.
And then the parliamentarians,
which were the
which
Roundheads.
was the Earl of Essex,
Is
so
that
the Roundheads,
Roundheads, yeah.
They had the orange
old Cromwell.
sashes. They had orange. You could take one off, couldn't you? If you like losing, you could go, "Oh, I'll have a bit of a red one now," because
Yeah.
you could do that.
It's a quick swap.
Quick swap, because you look the same. Everything else was the same.
Could you have like a nice coloured one, like a purpley?
Well, you see, Prince Rupert, good name. Prince Rupert, he was handsome and tall and gorgeous, apparently.
Very nice. And what side
Sorry,
was Essex?
but he was wearing lots of different colours.
What was Essex?
Essex was a parliamentarian. He wasn't a monarchist, you see. He
Right,
didn't
okay.
believe in it because his dad was had his head chopped off by Elizabeth I before. So he
Okay.
was a bit peeved, really. So
I'm not surprised.
but he also had a lot of experience in battle, so he was leading. The parliamentarian said, "You be the person." He was good. So he was based over there behind those trees.
I think I can hear thunder.
That's a Renault 465.
Oh right, I thought it was the cannons.
It's the one with the go faster stripes.
Right, onwards and upwards.
Yeah.
Come on, my liege.
This way. I want me coffee. So Bill, what time is it? You got a time on?
It's about 3 o'clock.
Right, well, midday, imagine this, midday, King Charlie, up where that tower is, that is about a 2 kilometre ridge up there. And you got to imagine, back in those days, there wasn't any trees.
Okay.
And, you know, and
Well,
hedges.
they've been invented, haven't they? But
Oh.
they're not here.
They have been invented, actually. Not here. These were planted in 1800 or something.
Okay.
Later on. So he could see the whole of this valley right down to Kyneton, which is a few miles that way. But up there, he basically got all these pulleys and horses to bring the cannons down, all the way down that hill to about here, where we are now.
No way.
About here, right? And What Essex did though was he put his infantrymen behind the ploughed field, so when the cannons came, they went plop rather than bounce.
Oh,
interesting.
My goodness, that is amazing.
Yeah. But so they came up to about here, and then they started. So it's about 3 o'clock now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
They were firing for about an hour and a half from 3 o'clock. This time, 382 years ago, on this day, on a day like this.
I think I can hear thunder. No, go on.
That's Renault.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then you stop laughing, production crew, please. And then they kept firing for a while up there.
Yeah.
And then cavalry came. So if you imagine you're here, we're only this big, right? Imagine how big a horse is. It's huge.
Wow.
Imagine a guy on top of that horse with his red sash and all that, with a great big broadsword coming down at you, a full gallop.
They're coming this way.
He came down here and then up towards Kyneton, a full gallop down that hill,
Yeah.
swept away the whole of their cavalry.
Wow.
That's Rupert. And well done, Rupert. And then the thing is, he got a bit ahead of himself. He got a bit high on he went, oh, I'm really good, aren't I?
Yeah.
And he kept going to get the baggage train over at Kyneton. He forgot about everyone else in the battle.
Just leave them. Let's
To
go and
King
get the
Charles,
loot.
who was based up there. And in those days, there was a barn back where those trees are there,
Yeah.
called Kingsley Barn, I think. It's not there anymore.
Oh my God.
And he said he basically went over there. He went over there to try and direct his troops now, because Rupert had buggered off basically. And then they had to just fight with their infantrymen who had all these pikes, 16-foot pikes.
That's why I bought this.
Yeah. Imagine that, a 16-foot with a big pointy bit at the end, and they kept pulling each other for the next few hours. And that was the war.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Do you want to know what happened in the war? Should we
Yeah,
find out
tell
later?
us in a bit.
Let's
Tell
go.
us in a bit.
They came down there.
I can see it now, Rupe.
You can see it now.
I can see it now. Yeah. Oh, it's doing another cow pack. Come on.
Come on.
Right, where are we now, mate?
So we're in Old Rad. There's two churches, St Peter's churches in Radway. This is the old one behind us now, and it's not there anymore. Actually, this is where it was. And we'll have a look in a minute, but you can see all the gravestones they've saved as a pathway. But the king's men, the royal soldiers, royalists, so they would have come this way and up to the field into the battle over there.
You can just imagine it, can't you?
Yeah.
Coming along.
Yeah, and for
With their
some reason, I
pikes.
don't know why, it's probably written on there, they demolished it after the battle and they built a new church.
I wonder if it got blasted with the cannons.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. Because the cannons weren't facing this way.
Yeah, but some might have just like misfired,
They
or
could've.
somebody with a bad eyesight or something like that. But
Yeah, so I don't know.
It's amazing,
so,
isn't it?
So yeah, so what we'll see, when we go to St Peter's, there's a statue of a guy called Henry Kingsmill or something, and his statue was here. His mum did a statue because he died in the war, and 30 years later she missed him so much that she commissioned this amazing statue of him.
wow.
And so they moved it back to the new church, which is up the road. But it's a beautiful little.
And those gravestones
yeah.
are from the people who were buried in the battle.
No.
Oh.
They just happened to be here. When they demolished the church, they just picked them up and they put them all across there. But there are soldiers that are buried on there in here.
I heard that they didn't bury the people for ages afterwards.
No, I know. And they reckon that's why a lot of the ghost stories have come out.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that when it gets dark. Nice here though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you can imagine.
It's beautiful, isn't
guys
it?
would
Absolutely
walked
beautiful.
up that lane and then into battle.
The old graveyard in Radway.
The old graveyards.
I'm loving it. Okay.
Should we go and have a look at the gravestone?
Yeah.
So
those ponies, right? Yeah. Were they the same ones that were there in 1642?
very likely. They're looking quite good, aren't they?
Yeah, lovely. They're very small.
They're very small. but they probably were, well, maybe not be the same ones. I'm
the
not a
descendants.
specialist. I'm not a specialist on the longevity. What's the longevity?
No, they could be direct descendants
It could be actually.
from the king's horse,
Yeah.
which is the pub round the corner.
Is it?
I think.
Should we go?
Oh,
That's all right. Yeah, so over there, if you look way over there past these hedges,
Yeah.
that's Kyneton, the
Yeah.
village of Kyneton. So that's where King's Rupert men would have gone way into, past those gates and things over there. This was all plain land, and they would have gone right into Kyneton, and they left all the people with their pikes and their muskets in the middle, and it was a real, like, tough bit of fighting, and they were very, very knackered.
Yeah, I bet. Quite a long way, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, usually I'd get a bus that far.
You see, what happened was, halfway through the fighting, Essex still had some cavalry, and they went round behind the fighting,
Yeah,
and then there were pockets of the royalists who ran away.
took them from behind.
Well, yeah, basically. But some of them, oh God, yeah, they ran away.
Ran away.
And inevitably there's an argument, and then yes, I think
Everyone choose their own sides.
yeah, he was a massive Catholic person. So the rest of England thought, do you know what? He wants to get very happy. Now here, look, we are at the new church. We saw the old one. This is New St Peter's, and they normally have a little. Should we go and have a look?
Yeah, definitely.
I've never been. I've been here, Greg. This is
So, do you think King Charles wanted to raise his own? Go to the Pope?
There's no evidence of that. I think he just wanted money to. He wanted what the Reformation. He wanted all the Church of England to deal to him. He wanted to get the altar rails back in the. Should we try?
Yeah.
Going in.
Oh, this is fantastic.
So this is a pike.
What's your name? Don't tell him Pike.
Pike sergeant over there. Josh.
So is he a roundhead or a...
Well, it looks like he was a royalist because he has got a red sash on, doesn't it? I think.
Yeah, and didn't the parliamentarians have the thing over the nose?
Well, you see, they
Yeah.
haven't really sorted all that out. This was the very first battle. War was declared 2 months before this. So they didn't really have all the gear at that time. Here's a nobleman with a red sash.
Oh, well, he's definitely a royalist, isn't he?
Yeah. So this is what Captain Kingsmill. Do you remember I said at the old church there was a guy called Captain Kingsmill?
Yeah.
So this is a statue that his mother commissioned
Oh, wow.
of him 30 years after he died. He missed him so much.
Oh, that's
And this was
amazing.
standing in front of the old church, but when they demolished it, they moved it into the new church.
I love this.
So there's bits of him missing, and I think not sure if they've found them yet. But,
See, my first reaction is to have a laugh and a joke, but this isn't a laugh and a joke. A lot of people got killed, and it's basically at the end of the day, it's war memorial, isn't it?
and also this battle, if Rupert had turned back, they would have been decisive. They probably could have won the battle.
The royalists.
Yeah, and this was the first battle of many, and that could have been a done deal.
Could have destroyed a democracy.
Could have done.
Yeah.
The monarchy came back again with Charles II about a few years later.
Did they chop Charles I's head off?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Because in the end, the parliamentarians won, and Oliver Cromwell was
Don't
the
spoil
protector.
it. Don't spoil it.
Oh, sorry, teaser.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. this is a village woman and a girl. That's what it says on there. I don't know. I guess this is what they wore at the time. But what is really interesting is what they found on the battlefield.
Muskets.
Because they found buckles and coins, and these are some of the muskets. And apparently, those are the ones that weren't spent. So they were just dropped because they're still round. Because they get deformed when they're, like, they've actually hit something.
And they shoot out the gun.
Yeah, and these are cannonballs that they found on site here. Would have caused, caused a lot of damage, wouldn't it?
I never knew the muskets were that long.
Is this a flintlock or a?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a flintlock, isn't it? I can't read it anymore. My eyesight's going. But it took a while to recharge it, didn't it? And apparently, there was right at the end of the war, because apparently you had, on one hand, you had to hold your gunpowder to put in, and on the other hand, you had your spark. And there were there was a lot of accidents where they just lit the gunpowder because they've got the wrong thing in.
Yeah.
And they lit it, and then the whole thing blew up, and then there's lots of
And if it
accidents
got
like that.
damp, because that's where they're saying keep your powder dry.
Yeah, keep your powder dry.
Powder dry. Well, where are we now?
So we're at the top of the ridge that Charles As in Edgehill.
So, who's over there?
The Earl of Essex.
Okay.
And you can see Warmington, that church that we were just in,
Yeah.
poking out over the trees down there. Yeah, so you can
What a
see.
view there. I mean, King Charles would have been up here,
He would
Yeah.
have been up here initially. Yeah.
not in the
Having
battle
a,
itself.
having a drink,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
pint of hooky.
Oh, okay then, if you're
Should we
buying.
go?
Excellent.
Let's go and have a look.
All right,
I
okay.
can see further.
I thought I got away with that. So what happened
Well,
next?
he could see, Charles could see the whole of the land in front of him here.
Yeah.
couldn't he? Rupert wanted to, he was gung ho, he wanted to get the cavalry going. He said, hold up, let's get the cannons down there. So they got winches and pulleys and they got these cannons down this great big slope.
No way.
Down, and you can see those rooftops there. That's Warmington. And it's quite near the old church that we were looking
Yeah.
at. And so Kyneton's past those trees, you can't see it very clearly, but that's where the fighting would have been. That would all have been a level land. There wouldn't have been so many hedges in the way as there are
Wow.
now. But you see, so he got his troops aligned across by Warmington on the right, and they were all aligned up there. And so they went hell for leather around about 3 o'clock.
And
So
that is, how many years ago? A lot of years.
that was about 1642.
Loads.
It's more than 10.
Loads. Do you know what? I bet Charles would have been here having a pint.
That's what I think. But he wasn't actually. There was a little barn. There wasn't many things that you could see, but there was this little barn. It looks like it was a three-sided barn called King's Mill Barn, or King's Hill Barn, I think.
Was
no,
it-
Kingsley. Sorry, Kingsley
Do
Barn.
you think it was just called Lee Barn until after the King
Could.
stayed there?
I don't know, mate.
And then he
I
had
don't know. You
King
could,
bit on.
could be right. And basically, the Royalist army lost the cavalry, but they kept the artillery going.
Yeah.
Right? And so by the time Rupert came back and everyone came back, they were just knackered.
It would be.
They've been
wouldn't it?
fighting for ages, and so that artillery allowed his men to retreat back to the barn. And then Essex's men were just knackered as well. And
It
so
would be, wouldn't it?
it was sort of a score draw, a bit like a Swindon Town game
Yeah.
against Man City or something.
Not Man
Away,
City.
not Man City.
Not Man City. Come on, let's get a pint. Okay, so I've heard
Yeah.
that this place is haunted.
Pardon? Sorry. Sorry, he was just talking.
No, they're supposed to be, because I heard that
Yeah.
after the battle, the locals saw thing in the sky
Yeah.
with the ghost, and the
Yeah.
battle was reenacted.
Reenacted.
Apparently,
That's exactly what they
and
saw.
I heard that they the word got around,
Yeah.
and they King Charles sent somebody up to go and suss it out,
Yeah.
and he said yes, it is haunted.
Yeah, it's the only recognised haunting in England.
No way.
Yeah, because he sent a commission. They're called, there were 6 people that came down here, and it was just after Christmas of 1642 that shepherds first saw stuff up in the hills just behind this tower, and they saw the reenactment.
In the sky.
In the sky, yeah. And there was talk about a cavalier coming over on horse, doing his thing with his broadsword. There's also a guy who's walking around looking for something, and they think it's a chap who's looking for his lost hand.
And tell me about the lost hand then.
Well, he was holding the standard for the king,
Yeah.
and when the Roundheads wanted to get it, it wouldn't let go, even though he was dead, and so they chopped his hand off.
Right.
And then the royalists captured it again, gave it to the king. The king gave the hand back to the family. They buried that because they couldn't find the body. But now, if you go out there at the anniversary, which is tonight, wow, you may see someone looking for something.
And he's looking for his hand.
Or it could be contact lenses. We don't know. It could be contact lenses, couldn't it?
Listen.
If you hear drums, that's the first sign that they're here.
Oh my goodness me.
Drums and what happened was that the commission did come down. They went to a little parish church in Kyneton, and they had all these witnesses, and they wrote it all down, and then said, "Why don't you come and have a look yourself?" And they went, and the commissioners saw the reenactment, and they even recognised people in the battle.
That is phenomenal, isn't it?
It is phenomenal.
It's phenomenal.
There's even a story back down over there. There is a little village called Lighthorn Heath, I think.
Yeah.
Nice pub, great folk club.
Yeah.
On Monday night, I think.
Yeah.
But there is, I think, Church Lane. There's a lady that walks up and down the lane tonight.
Lady of the Lane.
Lady of the Lane, and she is sobbing because her husband died in the battle.
I love
What do you
this
think?
story. I love this place.
Do you believe in it? Should we have a look?
I don't know.
I'm a bit spooked now. I feel it getting colder. Isn't that what you feel when ghosts appear?
It is getting a bit nippy. The light's going off.
It's October, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And-
why it's colder. You got a coat.
Yeah. I fancy some fish and chips.
Fish and chips. Let's go and get some fish and chips. Isn't that weird? That's the Edmund Verney. That's the name of the guy who
Where?
lost his hand. Look. Look.
Oh wow!
Look. Isn't that a
name
bit
on the top.
strange? Don't you think? Yeah, but
Impressive, Rupe.
I'm spooked now.
You just said that.
Yeah, Edmund Verney. That's what we talked about.
Oh my goodness me.
That's a sign.
Oh, sorry.
Like, but it's a sign that's
No,
written.
that's a sign.
Yeah, you wanted a sign,
No,
and now
that's
you.
a sign.
Yeah,
What's the sign?
that's definitely a sign.
Right now. Oh, hello, Chris.
Well, Rupe, I have absolutely loved coming to Edgehill.
Oh, it's been amazing, hasn't it?
You have really researched this episode.
I love it. I absolutely loved it. Every
Yeah.
moment. It's fairly accurate. It's not. You may not be 100% accurate, but it's
I
fairly
think it's
accurate.
fairly accurate.
I
I
think
think-
we put the ghost bit to bed,
Yeah.
solved it, and
Solved.
Bill and Rupe's fairly accurate podcast.
Yeah.
Solved the mystery.
And
We haven't actually talked about
hang
it.
on, listen. No way.
Or the Renault.
I can hear a horse.
Go on.
Listen. That's it, I'm off. Fish and chips.
No. Come on, let's go.
Well, what do you think about this afternoon, Chris?
Wow, it's been great fun, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed it.
I've absolutely loved it, and I had a spooky experience in the ladies' toilet.
In the ladies' toilet.
So if you'd have come with me, you would have experienced it
Well,
too.
yeah, they switched the lights off, didn't they?
The lights went off when I asked out if there was anybody there.
Oh my
But anyway,
word.
I don't think that was related to the Battle of Edgehill.
No, maybe not.
I think
Maybe
that-
just the bulb went in the lights,
Maybe,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
But, you know, it's good though, wasn't it?
It's good fun. I think Rupe is brilliant at this.
Yeah.
I think he's put so much time and effort into it that
Yeah. Oh, he enjoys it.
it's been brilliant.
Yeah, but it's interesting though, isn't it?
Yeah, let's just get off the road and get one over.
Well, let's try not to get run over. But yeah, no, I had a great time.
Yeah.
I could definitely do the fish and chips now though. could
Fish
you?
and chips,
Yeah,
fish chips
yeah.
and mushy peas.
Now you're
Right.
talking.
Okay, stop talking about them now. They're here. Hello. Fancy meeting you here. Hello. Seen any ghosts?
Are you a roundhead or a
I'm a
King
roundhead.
Charles
Look.
thingy bob?
Would you,
roundhead.
would
Definitely a
you
roundhead.
be a parliamentarian or a roundhead?
Which
Or
one?
a
Which one drank?
parliamentarian or the parliamentarians? Get in there, Louise. Jump in. So the parliamentarians drank, and
No, they didn't. They were pure.
oh no, yeah, that's right. The parliamentarians.
Puritans.
Yeah, Oliver
Get your
Cromwell.
facts right,
Oliver
Bill.
Cromwell. They didn't drink,
Cromwell?
did they?
Cromwell.
Oh, yeah, Oliver Cromwell.
Yeah, and his brother,
They did the
Oliver.
Cromwell cakes. On this. But Oliver Cromwell didn't drink, did he?
No, I don't think so.
Probably
Teetotal.
not. Well, he must have drunk something, otherwise he's
Yeah, okay.
very dehydrated.
Yeah, okay. But
wouldn't
he'd be out there reading his Bible and, you know, all that malarkey. And the king, they would have had wild parties, wouldn't they?
Yep.
I'd have been on that side.
Do you reckon?
Yeah,
Wild
me too.
parties.
Yeah, royalists. I
Yeah,
think. Yeah,
yeah.
we believe
I
in the
don't really
monarchy.
talk
Up the
to you.
royalists.
And the ghosts, do you think the ghosts actually come
The
out
goats?
at night? Not the goats, the ghosts.
I had an experience in the ladies' loo.
So did I. Oh,
Do you think they come out at night? Tonight? Will they be out tonight?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
I think they're going to make an appearance tonight in the clouds. That's the myth, isn't it?
tonight is the night. If they're not going to do it tonight,
yeah,
they ain't going to do
tonight's
it.
tonight.
Yeah.
Keep
Maybe.
looking up.
It's getting dark.
Yes.
There are lots of clouds appearing.
I think we better get off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fish and chips, come on.
Come on, let's go.
Fish and chips. Let's go.
Bill and Rupe